Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for joining. Wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhav, Radha Shyamsundar, Radha Damodar, Krishna Balaram Bal Gopal. Singh Bhagwan, Gaunita Shila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So, continuing on with talking about Lord Damodar. What are the different names of God? Why has he got so many names? And what's the difference between the names? According to revealed scriptures, there is one God who has many forms and also many names. And Krishna has two types of names. These are the principal names, two types. Primary, secondary. What's that all about? Well, the names of the Lord are all very powerful. However, the primary names are ones which describe the pastimes of the Lord, such as Govinda, and are regarded as relatively more potent, more important, because they address the personal activities of the Lord and thus are likely to attract the Lord's attention more. One of the reasons why we chant the holy names of the Lord is to attract him, attract his mercy. And if we wanted to attract him, we can attract him by calling out names which are very dear to him. Secondary names describe the qualities of the Lord, such as Ishwar, controller, Bhagwan, full of opulences, and are considered relatively less potent than the principal names, primary names, as they are addressing the Lord in a formal capacity and thus lack the intimacy favored by the Lord. So if you call the Lord Ishwar or Bhagwan, then yes, you're calling the Lord, but you're calling him as Mr. or Sir. It's very formal. And Krishna, he is very informal. Vishnu is very formal, but Krishna is very informal. So it may be more potent to call Krishna by one of the names that attract him through his pastimes. Makanchor, Damodar. The meaning of Damodar, Damo means rope, can also mean self-controlled. Udhar means waste, also means which is pure. So, what is Damodar all about? This refers to a glorious pastime where Krishna, the Supreme Lord, was tied by a rope around his waist by his mother. How is it that Yashoda Mai was able to tie the Lord, whom the sun and moon are so scared of, they rise and set every day? How can she tie him with a rope? How is that possible? So the background to this wonderful pastime of the Lord is as follows. In order to enjoy loving parental pastimes, Krishna takes a mother and father who are not ordinary living entities. We have to understand that Krishna is supreme. Anything connected with Krishna is also supreme. It's also very powerful. They're not ordinary living entities. They're powerful living beings. They're practically non-different from Krishna. Practically. Just like we were discussing how the Astasakis are practically non-different from Krishna. The common understanding is that Krishna appears to Vasudeva and Devaki over 5,000 years ago. Krishna appeared at midnight in a jail in Mathura, and his parents requested him to hide his divinity because he came as Vishnu. And Mother Devaki was very frightened for him. You should disguise yourself. Hide yourself. Hide your divinity. And somehow leave Mathura. In response to this plea, Krishna transformed his four-armed form to that of a baby. Invoking his illusionary potency, he enabled Vasudeva to leave the prison with him unnoticed and across the Yamuna River to Gokul. And in Gokul, in the maternity house of Nand Maharaj, unseen by anyone, Vasudeva exchanged his own son for the newly born, for the newly born daughter, Yogamaya of Yashoda, and thus returned with a girl to the jail in Mathura. When Kamsa got to know that the child destined to kill him had taken birth, he immediately rushed to the prison to kill the child. But the girl in Devaki's arms was no ordinary child. She slipped away from Kamsa's grasp, assuming a celestial form, chided the king, disclosing that the child's destiny, that the child destined to kill him, had already been born somewhere else. So this is quite an important point. Had already been born somewhere else. Well, the question is, had the child not taken birth in Mathura from Devaki's womb? Not according to Krishna's younger sister, Anuj Vishnu. The Srimad Bhagavatam states that Yogamaya had taken birth from Yashoda, and she is the younger sister of Krishna. Thus, Krishna was born to Yashoda. Hence the well-known term, Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So this is one of the points which is quite important to understand. Krishna always lives in Vrindavan, and he never leaves Vrindavan. However, was Yashoda not aware of this? No. Sukadeva Goswami explains that she was too exhausted by the labor of childbirth and fell asleep. Yes, sir, Priyanjali.
If he never leaves Vrindavan, then why did he go to Mathura?
He didn't. He didn't. He stayed in Vrindavan. But what happened? Actually, there were two Krishnas, and they merged at the time of birth in the house of Yashoda. So the one that Vasudev took from Mathura to Vrindavan is known as Vasudev Krishna. But actually, what happened in Gokul, Yashoda Mai gave birth to not just a daughter, but a son as well. And that son is Nanda Kishore. That is the Krishna that never leaves Vrindavan. So when Vasudev brought the second Krishna, or the first Krishna, to the home, they came together. And then when Krishna left Mathura, it was Vasudev Krishna who left, Nanda Krishna stayed back. He never leaves Vrindavan.
Then why were they all sad?
Very good question. You're so good. They're sad because the shock of seeing Krishna leave was so great. They saw him on a cruise chariot and they were devastated. And they never recovered from that shock. Krishna was still there. Krishna would be even in front of them, but they would just be, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Because that image of Krishna riding off in a cruise chariot was so overwhelming that they just, even if Krishna appeared before them, they wouldn't believe him. Because that image of Krishna leaving was so devastating to them. It really cracked their hearts.
Then did the other Krishna not help them?
He does help. In fact, what happens when a devotee becomes separated from Krishna, it increases that devotee's love for Krishna. So in that way, Krishna is helping that devotee by becoming separate from him. And that separation increases the love and attachment for the devotee to the Lord. And that is Krishna's blessing, mercy.
Then, then how many years later did he meet them?
Many years.
Like 80?
No, about 100 years later. Krishna lived for 125 years. He left when he was 8, I believe. 7, 7. He left when he was 7 or 8. Oh, 11, 11. Sorry, 11. Yeah, good point. He left Vrindavan when he was 11. Um, and he finally met again in Kurukshetra, the Brijvasis, after the battle of Kurukshetra, around about, well, over 100 years later.
Then did he take them to, after he met them in Kurukshetra, did he take the whole of Vrindavan to Vaikunth?
I see. Yeah, effectively, took it. When Krishna leaves this world, um, everything that comes with him pretty much goes back. Remnants stay, remnants of his place. Like in Vrindavan, if you go there, you can still remember Krishna. You can see different pastimes are still manifesting there. But when he leaves, everything goes with him. When he leaves the planet. So when he left after 125 years, everything went with him. Everything went with him. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah. Then how many years did he live for?
125 years in total.
But I
But
thought he was eternally young for 18.
16, yeah, he always looks 16-year-old. This is the beauty of God. Even when he's 100 years old, he still looks 16. The thing is also, we have to remember, God doesn't die. He doesn't die. Even when he was 125, although he looked 16, he went back to the spiritual world in his original body because his body is spiritual, completely spiritual. Our body is separate from us. Our body is material, but we, the spirit, are living in it. Whereas Krishna's body, inside and outside, it's spiritual. He
Then
always looks 16.
why don't they record how much he lived?
They have recorded it 125 years. That's how long he lived.
So that's the highest record.
No, 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 no. Of course, God lives forever, right? He never dies. Um, but there are certain people who have lived longer in this world. Many,
What is the highest record then?
I don't know. And in the current age, I don't know, maybe 120. But there are some sages in India who have lived for a very long time. Well, Hanuman, for example, since the time of Ram, he's been present. He's 1,000,000 years plus.
So Hanuman's eternal.
He's scheduled to live in this world until Lord Ram's name is chanted. So as long as Lord Ram's name is chanted, he'll always be around as Hanuman.
So if I chant Ram, then will he come? I mean, will he
Yeah,
stop
if you chant purely enough, he'll come. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when you chant the Hanuman Chalisa, he's present.
and protect you from evil things?
Yeah, Hanuman is very, very powerful.
Have you ever tried that?
No, I am more of a fan of. I love Hanuman. I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite characters. But the one I take shelter of is Lord Nrsimhadev, and he really is very, very sweet protector. Half man, half lion. You know him, right?
Yeah. I like Jagannath more.
Yeah, but with Jagannath, we like him to play, and we don't want to bother him to protect us. We can ask that protection from Lord Nrsimhadev. Yes, Lord Nrsimhadev, please protect me so that I can serve Jagannath.
Then why does Krishna protect us?
He does. But Krishna's busy. He's got so much to do. He's he's busy playing his flute. He's busy uh, playing a prank on Radharani. So we don't want to disturb him. We disturb his incarnation, known as Lord Nrsimhadev. Please, Lord Nrsimhadev, help me, protect me, so that I can serve Radha and Krishna. Very good questions, Priyanjali. Anything else?
No.
Amazing questions. Thank you so much. How are we doing for time? Wow. Let's see how much we can do. So, who was a child born to Devaki? He's regarded as to be Vasudev Krishna, who, when brought to Gokul, this is what we were saying, as Krishna's expansion merged into the form of Yashoda's son, Yashoda Nandan. It is this expansion who leaves Vrindavan, this Vasudev Krishna. He leaves Vrindavan with Akru at the age of 11 and kills Kamsa. The original Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. This is from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, whose bhajan we were singing earlier. Why is it that Devaki is commonly known as mother of Krishna? The answer by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is that Devaki and Yashoda were friends, and Yashoda wanted Devaki to have fame of being Krishna's mother. Yashoda means to give fame. The Yashoda Mai is very kind-hearted. She wanted Devaki to be known as the mother of Krishna. Oh, yes. How did Yashoda and Devaki become mothers to the Lord? In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami describes the pastime to Maharaj Parikshit. Drona and Dhara, these are two demigods. They said, please permit us to be born on the planet Earth so that our appearance, after our appearance, the Supreme Lord, this personality of Godhead, a supreme controller and master of all planets, will also appear and spread devotional service, the ultimate goal of life, so that those born in this material world may very easily be delivered from the miserable condition of materialistic life by accepting this devotional service. So Lord Brahma said, Tathastu, so be it. Yes, let it be so. The most fortunate Drona, who was equal to Bhagwan, appeared in Brajpur, Vrindavan, as the most famous Nanda Maharaj, and his wife Dhara appeared as mother Yashoda. Thereafter, O Parikshit Maharaj, best of the Bharatas, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead became the son of Nanda and Yashoda, they maintained continuous, unserving, devotional love in parental affection. And in their association, all the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, the Gopas, Gopis, developed the culture of Krishna Bhakti. So, whilst the above indicate that two demigods, Dhara and Drona, became the Krishna's parents, Sukadev Goswami clarifies the position later in the Bhagavatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service, but is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerity and penance, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. So it's not possible to become Krishna's close associate by severe austerities or penances, which is what they were doing. Drona and Dhara, they were doing austerities to obtain the Lord as their son. These statements seem contradictory. contradictory. On the other hand, two demigods were blessed to become Krishna's parents. But the latter verse indicates that no one can become Krishna's parents, for Yashoda and Nanda are eternally so. That's a contradiction. The Gaudiya Acharyas give further clarification. Prabhupada states, when Krishna descends, he is accompanied by his own associates. These associates are not ordinary living beings. Krishna's pastimes are eternal. When he descends, he comes with his associates. When Nand and Mother Yashoda are eternal father and mother of Krishna. Therefore, Nand and Mother Yashoda are eternally father and mother of Krishna. This means that whenever Krishna descends, Nand and Yashoda, as well as Vasudeva and Devaki, descend as the Lord's father and mother. Their personalities are expansions of Krishna's personal body. They're not ordinary living beings. So this is important to understand. These amazing personalities, they're expansion of Krishna's own body. Further, in the purport to the next verse, Prabhupada says, before Krishna's appearance, Drona and Dhara appear in order to become his father and mother. It is they who appear as Nand and wife Yashoda. In other words, it's not possible for a sadhana siddhi living being to become the mother and father of Krishna. For Krishna's mother and father are already designated. So basically, Dhara and Drona are incarnations of Nanda and Yashoda. They came to this world as demigods, they prayed. And when Nanda and Yashoda came to this world, Dhara and Drona merged with them. And further in the purport to the next verse, 50, Prabhupada says, because whenever Krishna appears on earth, he superficially needs a mother and father, Drona and Dhara. His eternal mother and father appear on earth before Krishna as Nanda and Yashoda. In contrast to Sutapa and Prishni, they do not undergo severe penances and austerities to become the mother and father of Krishna. That is the difference between Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. So this is a little technical. Regards the contradiction of demigods or not, Jiva Goswami in his Sri Bhakti Sandarbha reconciles the position. Firstly, the first statement of Bhagavatam must be taken in light of the second statement, which carries more weight and should not be contradicted. This is in accordance with the rule of interpretation as per the Vedanta Sutras. Jiva Goswami suggests that Drona and Dhara are partial expansions. This is the point. They're expansions, they're incarnations of Nanda and Yashoda, who appear in Swargalok, and Brahma's blessing was fulfilling a prophecy rather than an independent boon. Neither Brahma nor Lord Shiva, nor even the goddess of fortune, who is always the better half of the Supreme Lord, can obtain from the Supreme Personality of God, the deliverer from the material world, such mercy as received by Mother Yashoda. So this is so powerful. Mother Yashoda is very powerful. So the following conclusions can be drawn. Nanda and Yashoda are eternal parents of Krishna. Nanda and Yashoda partial expansions appear as demigods Drona and Dhara. Drona was one of the 8 Vasus, a great devotee of Vishnu who rules the kingdom in heaven, but was childless. They went to Mandara mountain and received the blessing from Brahma that the Lord would appear as their son. When Krishna's time came to manifest, Prakata, his pastimes on earth, Drona and Dhara appeared in Gokul. At the same time, the original Nanda and Yashoda manifested their pastime prior to Krishna's descent. Drona and Dhara, enter the bodies of Nanda and Yashoda. Yes, Pri Anjali, you must be muted.
Was there?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is not about this topic, but
Ah,
was there a sister of Lakshmi called Lakshmi?
I haven't heard that before. There may well be. Have you heard there is?
Well, yes, I have
Mm.
on on my on my TV when I watch Krishna.
Yeah, but some of these Krishna stories are not accurate. I don't know. I haven't heard. In the Brihad Bhagavad Amrit, Sanatana Goswami describes that just as Krishna's expansions merge with him or adjust themselves as required, uh-oh, the Gokul Vasis can similarly be born as partial expansions or full expansions, or they can vary their appearance as per times, place, and circumstances. Let me just see how much there is. Okay, good. Let's just finish here. When Lord Brahma went to Gomata with Gomata and the demigods to petition the Lord to descend to protect Dharma, Shirodakshay Vishnu instructed the demigods to appear in the family of the Yadus. Having received this order, Drona and Dhara asked Brahma for the fulfillment of their desire to have the Lord as their son. So I wanted to stop there. And tomorrow we'll talk about Devaki and Vasudev. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, Priyanjali's already asked loads of questions. So, Lord Damodar ki Yashoda Mai ki jai, Nanda Maharaj ki jai, Devaki ki jai, Vasudev ki jai.